folks, welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the RWB 911 F-Series Narro Style Porsche. This is the Prestige Cup car, and what I did is I have it set up to stage 5 only. Now I only have two stage 6s. I have the engine and the transmission on this account, both of which seems to be decently strong, with the engine actually being a stronger stage 6 from what I tested. But we'll see in a little bit if and when I run into a wall with the Prestige Cup. Now, up to this point, if you have the Fusions, stage 5 will get you pretty far. Generally speaking, with Prestige Cups, the game sets it up so that you can at least get to race 28, which will give you a stage 6 at stage 5 full fusion. Now, if you don't have full fusion, then it's different. You probably will need to pull some crates and get a stage 6 or 2 to give you the leverage you need to get there. But if you already have stage 5 full fusion, you should be okay. The speed traps would be an issue for this car, except it can be tuned around it a little bit. This car, what can I tell you? It's not very good at sprinting, and it's not very good at speed traps either. So it's kind of one of those cars where you want to just be careful selecting it for anything like Tempest, because it's not really going to shine in any one aspect to make it easy for you. Sure, fully maxed or close to it, you can get to 261 mile per hour and therefore beat that aspect. And I think on the sprint side, I haven't tested it, but you may be able to even get to 0 to 60. But again, it's one of those cars that just, it's okay, but it's not great, and therefore is not one of my top recommendations of any sort for Tempest. In fact, I would recommend that you hold off doing anything with it and just get through the Cup and hang on to it, because we have an event coming that'll use a lot of Porsche Fusions. So Porsche Fusions, while it may be plentiful generally nowadays in the game, you may find that you'll be quite short on them as soon as you have to build those new cars for the new event. Now, that being said, I'm kind of breezing through this Prestige Cup here. Again, stage 5 only. If you play your cards right, I mean, I shouldn't even say that. If you know how to drive it, you tuned it, and you have full fusions, it'll get you to race 28. At least it should. Okay, so again, I'm just kind of moving through the last few races here to try to see where I run into trouble. Alright, so I'm about a second apart from my opponent, but the escalation of the races should be at least 2/10 per race. So you figure in those 3 races, the computer may approach my time by another 6/10 or more, putting us pretty close by race 28. So let's try again here. Right, the last opponent was a 13.6. I'm running 12.3. So I should be able to hold off this guy and the next guy without too much trouble. Now, if this one jumps to a 13.5, 13.4, then that's expected. Ooh, that's quite a bit of jump, 13.2. So that's a 4/10 jump. If we keep up with this kind of jump, race 29 and 30 definitely will be in the low 12s, if not 11s. So, again, generally speaking, you're not going to make it through a Prestige Cup with 0 stage 6. That's rare. It's happened before with really good cars, not necessarily a car like this, which I don't consider to be all that, because it doesn't seem to carry really high evo and lower upgrades, which means it's not going to be super fast without stage 6s, and therefore it's going to struggle a lot more trying to get through the event than a car that would do very well without stage 6s. Okay, so we are now at 12.8. So that's a big jump. So instead of jumping about 2/10, we're jumping about 4/10 a shot. And that would put me right near, so the next jump could put us right near 12.4 at this kind of a jump rate, or 12.6 or 12.5. That's why it's starting to show it as potentially being hard. But hard is not really too worrisome. It's extremes that I'm more worried about. Okay, so I'm just going to run this car. I shift it different ways. I tune it different ways. I mean, this is one of the highest Evo tunes. Doesn't mean it's the best tune. It's just a tune that seems to work okay so far. You may be able to find a better tune out there, There might be a better way to drive it as well, but 12.6 from 12.8, so that's a 2/10. Now it's showing as next race as extreme. Now this is generally a speed trap, which could be why it's extreme. This car does not speed trap well. If it's a race, then that's different. Okay, so that will be interesting to see where this car can go, because that is going to be very close to running my exact time if it's on extreme. So let's see if I can pull this one off. Very close. Ah, no, he beat me. All right, let's see what the opponent ran. So 12.365 versus a 3.25. Is it possible I can run a 3.25 with my current setup? I guess. I mean, the dyno says it probably is capable of it. I may need to tweak my tune a little bit, see if there's anything I can do to make it a little better. But let's just take a look at the tune real quick. I haven't played with nitrous too much. Oh, there we go. I may be able to squeeze it out using that. Okay, so that's a little extra. But there's not much there. Now I'm using obviously a specific setup here. Here we go. We eked out another point. So 12.503 is actually my dyno. I'm already running under it at 12.3s. So the car runs a little bit under dyno, but you know, without a stage 6, there's not a whole lot of guarantee here that I'm going to make that. So I'm going to try one more time. See if I can squeeze this one out. If I can, great. If not, well, I already have some stage 6s, fortunately. But this kind of shows you that this isn't going to be the easiest of Prestige Cups if on race 28 I'm already getting stuck. It could be that I just have a bad tune. I may be able to tweak the tune a little bit to get better time, but regardless, I don't have a whole lot of time to mess with that this morning. I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do with this. Okay, so again, it really comes down to whether this car will eke it out. Ooh, so close. And yet, it's still a loss. So I haven't been able to get to my stage 6 yet. Oh, this car's faster than the last guy. Right? So, obviously, I could just keep jumping back and forth and see if I can maybe squeeze it out a little better. Maybe give it a little touch more nitrous, but that's kind of a waste of time at this point with you guys having to watch a video. So what I'm going to do is go back, add the stage 6 engine, get the next stage 6, and see if that does anything or is needed, and see where we end up. Alright, we're back. Let's go ahead and get some gas, because I have a feeling I may need a few pips near the end here. Let's go ahead and get engine and maybe later transmission on there. I don't really care which one I get. I think engine's pretty good. See, it gets a nice bump. This is where it shows that it's real nice. Look at that. That's a nice bump for just one stage 6. So that's going to bump me from 12.5 down to what? Probably a 12.0? Because that's quite a nice jump from the numbers there. Yep, 12.01. And that's without fine tuning. I may be able to squeeze some more out of this. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot there. $299, $309, come on. Alright, so looks like I somehow messed up my 12.01 there. I forgot what I was running. Here we go, getting closer. Alright. There we go. 12.01. 12.00. 11.997, yes. 996. 993. Come on, let's see if we could squeeze some more out of this. Nope. So 990 seems to be the best I'm going to squeeze out of this. So let's go ahead and take that 11990 and run back. Now understand that makes engine a very important stage 6, right? Because think about it, it just dropped half a second with just that one stage 6. And we just went from extreme to basically not very challenging because of that stage 6. So from a stage 6 standpoint, without looking at any of the other ones yet, engine obviously is a big boy for this car. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so not really worth pushing into 5th gear at all with this car. If anything, just right out 4th, it seems to be always the better choice here. So 12.4, 11.901. Now, mind you, oh, nitrous. Okay, so that might be helpful. I also have transmission. Now I have nitrous. So I have some good stage 6s. These are generally going to be part of the top 4. Nitrous, tire, engine, trans. No, I take that back. The normal top 4 is normally nitrous, body, tire, and trans. In this case, engine obviously is extremely good. So that tells me some of the others will have to be less good in comparison. Now, my feeling is tires probably not great for this car. It seems to not be that strong a car when it comes to using tire grip. So tires probably not going to be that great. Intake and turbo is probably not going to be great. That's generally a standard situation with these cars. So that tells you, if you have at least nitrous, engine, trans, and body, and maybe nitrous, those 4 might end up being the top 4. So, all right, let's see. I'm not sure I'm going to make it here with just what I have, but I'm definitely going to give it a try and see how far it'll push it. Okay. Oh, here he comes. Ooh, I'm getting crushed. All right, so race 31 escalates, race 30 escalates quite a bit. Wow, that's a huge escalation. So think about it. We were facing an opponent that ran 11.9. Now it's 11.49. So another 4/10 drop from the opponent. And your one stage 6 got you only to 12.0, 11.99. And good thing at least you could run a little faster than dyno, but 4/10, that's not going to happen. So that means back to the drawing board on stage 6s. Now I have to go back and see if transmission's enough to get me through, or I'm going to have to throw that nitrous in. Alright, so let's take a look at throwing transmission in. Obviously, my target number here is going to have to be a 11.4. Yes, I'm going to need some coffee, I think. 11.4 versus what I was running, which is like a 11.8. So I'm looking for a 4/10 drop here on the dyno so that I can guarantee myself a much better run. So 11.5, that means I can run probably 11.4s, if not 11.3s. That should be helpful. I can tweak this again to see if there's any benefit to. Doesn't seem to be. Okay, 11.571, 569. We'll take the 569 and let's run with it. So without nitrous, we just went from 11.9 to 11.5, which again is a decent drop. So transmission obviously is a good stage 6 as well. So I happened to luck out here and got 2 of the better stage 6s. Still extreme because remember the opponent ran a 11.4 and change. So your dyno says you're slower than the opponent. The only fact that we can even have a chance here is if we can beat dyno. That's if this opponent isn't a 11.3 opponent, because we all know that the opponents don't always run the same times either. There's a range of times that they run. I think shifting into 5th may not have been the best idea. Oh, I won though. Woohoo! All right. let's see, 497. I think I could have done a little better than that. 11521. So that's one of the slower opponents, I think. I hope. But it got the job done. So full fusion, 2 stage 6s just to get here. Now, that means that, of course, if you have less fusions, you're going to need more stage 6s. So it's one or the other. There's no way here to do better. This car isn't that wonderful, so unfortunately this won't be a super easy Prestige Cup. It's not super hard, but it's not super easy. So good luck with the Prestige Cup. Let me know if you have any particular experience on your side, or you get to test any of the other stage 6s. I do have the car maxed on my other account, which means I can do full testing of stage 6s, but the car really isn't good enough to justify making a video, because I don't expect you to really use this thing for anything else after this event. I mean, yeah, there's a showdown. I guess you could use it for that, but other than that, I would leave this car alone. Save my Porsche Fusions for the coming events, and you know, focus more on those cars than this mediocre tier 4. So that's my Prestige Cup runs. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel and like videos like this, then subscribe, hit the bell, and you get notifications when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.